Have you ever moved far away from home, perhaps to another country or culture? What was it like being in a new home away from the other? How did your mind and body move back and forth between the two? Today, let's explore works by two artists who use their homes as touchpoints for stories of reflection, adaptation, and growth. Two Homes by Kazumi Seki and Home and Back, Entre Hogares by Eleonora Gomez Bas. Kazumi Seki is a visual and performing artist. She creates interactive installations and socially engaged projects in addition to artist books. Born and raised in Japan, Seki completed her undergraduate and graduate degrees in the US. Two Homes is bound as two accordions, featuring bilingual texts in Japanese and English. The left side describes sounds of her Japanese home, like the horn of the tofu seller and the nighttime cricket songs. Seki's words convey the comfort and routine of belonging. The last page, however, abruptly shifts focus. War, disaster, discrimination, discord. Seki's comforting memories are disrupted by acknowledging those who have had to leave their homes. The right side accordion is set in Chicago. Here, her home is the bookbindery at school. In contrast to the easy belonging of her home in Japan, here she is pushed out of her comfort zone. But this work and encouragement brings her forward, and she expresses gratitude. I read these texts a few times, sometimes straight through on one side, and other times moving back and forth, comparing the pages across the accordion. There is a correlation between the movement of the narrative on the two sides as they come together toward the center. The background of both sides are monoprint textures. Seki explained to me that these were inspired by tatami, a traditional Japanese flooring material made with soft rush. The accordions of Two Homes can stand up to create an enclosed, house-like space. The warm color of those tatami-inspired monoprints on the interior give me a strong sense of peace and security. Two Homes is a companion to an installation Seki created in graduate school. Titled Aruga Mama, she describes it as a life-size book and participatory installation. Seki created this space for viewers to realize their Aruga Mama, which is a Japanese concept that emphasizes the naturalness and non-judgmental acceptance of one's feelings. Viewers selected a soft garment to wear, removed their shoes, and stepped onto the tatami into a space surrounded by traditional Japanese mosquito netting. Two Homes was available to read and engage with inside the installation. When opened to this house shape, the exterior texts address the reader. The back of the Chicago side of Two Homes features prompts that were also embroidered on the garments in her installation. These prompts, ungrounded and moving this way and that, are meant to inspire awareness of oneself. The exterior of the Japan side is quieter and more straightforward. Seki explained to me that she thought most people were too busy and haven't had enough time to reflect, so she wanted to indirectly point it out. The different typographic treatments on these two sides reflect what it might be like to accept the naturalness of feelings, sometimes hectic and all over the place, other times calm and focused. The back of the book offers a note of gratitude and affirmation. I am reminded of her earlier words, when Seki wonders how she can give back all that she has been given. A poetic distillation of Seki's installation, Two Homes, creates a warm and comforting space, a safe haven for her memories and feelings, as she encourages us to reflect on our own. Eleonora Gomez Bas is a binder and artisan in New York. Born in Argentina, she moved to Venezuela at the age of 10, and then New York City at age 24. Home and Back, Entre Hogares, is Gomez Bas's exploration of her journey of adaptation. The book is bilingual, with side-by-side translations in Spanish and English. Gomez Bas begins the book by introducing her movement back and forth between New York City and Caracas. Home and Back is bound in a concertina structure. Inspired by Keith Smith's structure of the visual book, the folios are sewn onto the accordion spine. Gomez Bas has skillfully utilized this structure, offering the reader multiple ways to engage with these images and the poem. Home and Back can be read in spreads, like a codex-style front-to-back reading. Read this way, the rhythm alternates between the photos and the text, although the juxtapositions can change. The photos depict traveling between places, with suitcases, airplane wings, and details of distinct environments. Gomez Bas also appears, looking up toward the sky with the vast landscape of water, mountains, and city behind. Her head tilts up, with eyes closed. I feel myself taking a deep breath, inhaling the familiarity of home with her. We see her again, her head position the same, but I don't feel that same flood of comfort. Maybe she's trying to find the patch of sun and sky in between the tall buildings. This landscape is not expansive, as it was in the previous image. Here is a tighter, on-the-ground view. From back to front, the photographic sequence is like a palindrome. We see the same progression of images reading toward the center from each side of the book. The difference is that they are flipped between photographic positive and negative. This palindrome quality gives me a sense of moving back and forth, between two places, between the covers of the book, over and over. The poem is full of movement and arrivals, as well as her own transformations between her two homes. Attachment, separation, impermanence, and adaptation are major themes throughout Gomez Bas's work, and we see these themes unfold across the text. Gomez Bas is interested in expanding beyond the book as a finite and limited object. She explained to me, I really enjoy the idea of giving the viewer a lot of options and allowing them to experience the content as a fragment, or a single page, or as an element in a larger series. Home and Back can also be opened out completely, creating a panorama of photographs on one side. Flip the photographic pages, and we see the same panorama, but this time in photographic negative. Having the same images appear in positive and negative leads me to consider the parallels between the sides of her life in Caracas and New York City. It also helps guide and reinforce the two directions of reading. Fully open, we are offered a different experience of time. The rhythm of the panorama has a smoother continuity because the photos meet across the page breaks. To travel the 8-foot length of the panorama, we also must take a physical journey alongside Gomez Bas's photographic narrative. With the book expanded, we can still open the pages, creating even more juxtapositions between the texts and images. Inside the book, the English and Spanish translations are presented together, but the covers present only one language at a time. Just like the direction of the pages point in one direction or another when the panorama is fully open, we can read the text in two directions as well. In either direction, the poem begins and ends with Gomez Bas adapting, leaving behind, and finding a new sense of self in relation to her world. Two Homes finds comfort and growth in distinct places, encouraging self-reflection and acceptance. Home and Back is a story in transit, amidst the process of discovery and adaptation. Both books share glimpses of the artist's relationships with the two places they call home.